Good evening, Earth. I am Archibald Chesterfordson, and you are tuned in to Static Nothing Machine. Stay with me for the following few minutes and watch a couple of artists attempt to justify what they've been doing with their lives and what they expect to accomplish. Come with me. We are here with an artist of some sort. We're not quite sure which one, but it is some sort of visual artist. I believe it's some kind of drawing or something. Now, if you could possibly tell us something about your artwork, something along the lines of what you're doing and what you think you're going to accomplish.
What am I doing and what am I going to accomplish?
Something along those lines, yes.
Guess I don't know. I guess that's kind of up to my hand.
Do you mean anything by that, or are you just stalling?
I'm not stalling. You're putting me under too much pressure.
You had all night to plan. You knew this was going to happen. What exactly are you doing? Beginning, middle, and end. Please answer my question.
I'm painting a castle and a forest simultaneously.
All right, and what exactly are your inspirations? What exactly are your references? Where does the inspiration come from? Really? That's all I'm asking. Why not? Please, give me some.
Well, the inspiration comes from all around me. Particularly things that are alive and breathing, like people.
So you're not a fan of still life, is what you're saying?
Not particularly. I like when things move, and I like to depict things that are moving.
So you're not a fan of most types of art now, are you?
No, I'm a fan of all art.
Except still lives, is what you're saying?
No, I like still lifes too, because even still lifes are moving.
Run that by me again.
Okay, I like still lifes too, because still lifes are still moving also. It's just capturing one moment.
Nonsense, of course. As you know, all artists are unrelatable and unreliable folk. They make no sense when you ask them questions, and they mean nothing by their answers.
There's this guy, which you can't even really see in the lighting. That guy.
We all waiting for the restroom now.
This guy. And these guys.
Look at me, this thing.
Please take us through the pieces of art themselves, perhaps explaining what you were thinking when you did them, how you did them, something along those lines.
Alright, well, as you can see, most of my stuff is splatter paint, so I don't like to think that I really manipulate the paint itself. I just sort of supply the conditions and let gravity do everything else. So I like to squirt a big old glob of paint in my hand and just chuck it at the board.
Yo, Frank!
In this case, this is all spray paint, in fact. So in this case, I literally just took the can of spray paint and spread it right into my hand and let it drip all over. It only takes me a few minutes to make each one of those. It's part of why I like splatter paint.
What precisely is it that you prefer in this particular type of art over precise art in which you're able to make pictures of things?
Pictures of things is nice, but it's pretty limiting. I like these because, I don't know, it can be abstracted into anything that you want. You know, they all have their own sort of feel to them, and you can never recreate them. Each one is going to be totally unique. Even if I were to try to redo this one exactly, there's absolutely no way. So it's one of a kind.
When I look at this piece of painting, I see the Milky Way. Was that what you were going for? If not, what were you going for?
I wasn't really going for anything in particular. I did want a relative space scene. I wasn't exactly depicting the Milky Way itself, but just sort of, you know, some sort of a space galaxy kind of a thing.
Are any of these other paintings yours? Perhaps one of the ones with faces or other things?
Faces. I do have one with a subject matter, though. It's tough to see in this lighting, but this is the space jellyfish experiment. This is a giant golden jellyfish floating through space.
All right, and as you can see from this piece of work, it is quite obviously a jellyfish. You'll see the body up there and then the tendrils coming downwards. Now, why didn't you use real art to make an actual jellyfish?
Well, I guess I could have done that, but I think anyone could have done that. This is like I said, it's a one of a kind. You know, there's no way to recreate that.
Bet I could.
I'd like to see you try.
Maybe you will.
Hopefully I will.
Perhaps we shall.
Perhaps we shall.
Very well then. This has been Connor. I don't know his last name because I didn't bother to ask. We see over here some pieces of artwork by someone named Aaron Case or Cass or something. All right now, you're Aaron, correct?
I am, yes.
All right, this is Aaron. Now, what can you tell me about these pieces of work right here?
Well, all inspired from different parts of my life. I lived in front of a waterfall for about 2 years, so obviously that influenced me. I took showers there, I exercised, I ate, I met with friends. Here we have barely. It just, incorporates the idea that we're barely here, but at the same time we are here in every sense of the word.
Quite haunting.
Exactly, quite poetic. And then we have here, swimming across the sea, trying to get to different areas of the world, but not knowing exactly how to do so.
The inherent disconnect between ourselves and the universe that we know.
Precisely, sir. You've got it. And so here we go, just perspective, admiring the world, contemplating. Often when you contemplate, you hug your knees. I don't know if you've experienced this.
I have not.
It really connects you with the rest of the world when you hug your knees, such as we see here.
All right. Now, how exactly did you make these pieces of art?
These were all from my mind, but I cut out different pieces.
No. How did you make them physically? Like, what did you do to create the artwork?
Glue.
Glue.
Physical glue, yes. That's what holds the world and my art together.
So you went to an arts and crafts store, got glue, and then just put stuff on a piece of paper.
That is art, yes. Are you not impressed?
I cannot admit that I am, but I suppose that is your right as the artist.
That is correct. Perspective, sir.
Yes. Well then, it seems that we've learned a great deal about young Aaron Case. Unfortunately, none of it makes any sense whatsoever, and I feel very bored having learned it. Over here. Excuse me, sir. This metal mirror thing behind you, did you in fact make it?
No, that's the house artwork.
Can you claim that you did for the camera?
No, the house. It belongs to the house.
All right, this simply won't do. All right, how much money will it take for you to pretend to have made that artwork?
It would take about approximately 13 broken mirrors.
Obviously, he is not an artist by his own admission, but he's acting like one. Tom, let's get on up here, boy. Here he is, boy. The man you see before you is Mr. Tom Zerzaki. Now, I know it's hard to imagine a man who did not make a movie in Hollywood. Of course, us Americans, and we are all American here, simply can't imagine a man who made a film anywhere other than in Los Angeles. Or a movie about anything other than Transformers or superheroes or whatnot, because, after all, that's the only kind of films that I watch. I'm American. Now then, what this man did was quite incredible. He came up through the streets of Detroit. Now that's a city in America. I looked it up, don't worry. He came up through the streets of Detroit and decided that he was going to make a movie. Now I don't know about what, I don't have much of an attention span. After all, I am American. But what he accomplished was quite impressive. He went up there and he made a film, as you can see from him. Now, as you know, as Americans, it's hard to imagine an American that made a film. Now then, I'm terribly sorry, I can't do it. It's a terrible accent, it's ridiculous, it sounds terrible. You sound terrible, you all sound ridiculous. Americans, you're hideous. You all sound like vulgate fools, it's true. So, if you don't mind, I shall conclude this opening speaking kings. Now then, the man you see before, get back up here. Come on, what are you doing? Get back up here. Get back up here. The man you see before you is Mr. Tom Anderson Gaius Cornelius Zerzaki, the fifth. And he made an incredible film. Perhaps the most important and influential piece of filmmaking, filmed in Detroit in this last 4.5 years. Are you quite finished?
No.
Possibly excluding Real Steel, starring Hugh Jackman.
Yes.
What he did was he created a film about his own madness, I believe.
Sort of.
Close enough. He created a film in which a lack of motivation is the greatest motivation that a man can have. A person's unwillingness to do anything other than nothing, driving him to the deepest parts of madness. A world where a man is willing to go into the innermost depths of his mind to avoid thinking. And so he did this. He accomplished this incredible feat. He created this film, and now he stands before you today triumphant after a return from Los Angeles, the specifics of which we will not mention.
Thank you, Chef.
You're welcome. It's Archibald.
Yes.
Archibald Chesterfordson III.
Chesterford, yeah. Checkerboard.
Americans. Now then, I suppose with no further ado, I should finish off by saying that it is my incredible honor to say, enjoy your feature presentation.
Come on, before you get eaten by a pterodactyl.
I'll eat you.
She said, why were you guys born? It's stand-up comedy hour.
Okay.
Yeah.
Get it up.
Unfortunately.
All right. The Q&A section. So everybody raise their hand if they have a question, comment, or concern, please. Please, submit it formally, please. Anybody.
We have 2 surviving.
Okay, yes, you ma'am, right in front.
Everybody else died.
What was the best thing to order at the Redford Cafe?
The
Sweet William!
Sweet William, that's it! The chocolate milkshakes were a favorite of ours when we would frequent there.
There we go. Thank you.
Any other questions on Mike? Anybody have any questions whatsoever? Please.
Where do you buy your Swedish meatballs?
Where do you find your Swedish meat? Who is that question directed to? You didn't specify.
Oh, who's answering?
Anybody.
Go ahead.
You have to answer.
Where do you find your Swedish meatballs?
I don't eat meat, so I just buy the ones that grow in the fields, the soy fields, the fermented soy inside of each other's pantalones.
Are you Italian or?
My family, we come from here, there, everywhere, but anywhere.
It's all European.
Alright, Kevin, I suppose that's enough. Any more? Anybody else have any questions whatsoever? Possibly having to do with the movie at all? Anything, the film that you just watched?
What movie?
Anybody have any questions whatsoever? Anything?
Well, Jim,
You.
I guess that's it.
Me?
The guy who looks like Blake from Workaholics.
Why were you walking in the dirt road, sir?
Here's my question. How long did it take you to write the script for the movie we just watched?
Finally, a useful question. How long did it take you to write the script?
First version, first time we tried to make film, we didn't finish writing, and then we did another draft in 2010 AD, and then the third draft, and then a third and a half draft later was written in the 2012 before we started film. So not very long, but in long run about 4 years or 3 years, with doing a lot of in between dancing.
And then my part 2 to that question would be, did you have like a goal in mind, or were you winging it?
Originally everybody was supposed to be on drugs when we filmed, but we forgot to enforce that, but they did it anyway, some people. The ones that didn't show up very often.
I have a question for the maestro. What's it like writing in a language that is not your native language? Do you find it difficult, or is it easier than speaking in Russian, whatever it is?
Well, we didn't, the movie, the sensical, pathological liars, it wasn't supposed to, you just splice together stream of unconscious consciousness, so rather easy.
Okay. Right then. Anybody in the back, you people who seem to be shoveling things in the garbage bag?
She was also part of the movie, she helped
Yes.
do things.
Does anybody have any questions whatsoever for the lady who's pointing a gun at me?
Also, we are auctioning off this gun, it was real movie.
$20.
Used, really? I was going to start at -5, but I would
Yeah.
pay somebody to take it away from me.
That is what he does with guns. All right, any other questions, or can we call it a night? anything at all.
Call it a kite, we could call it a knife, we could call it...
You sat there and watched the whole film. I saw you. You must have some question. I'm looking at you. Don't?
Say, I like the kid in the movie, and I like the Beast, and
That was me. I played the Beast.
He was the
That was me. Thank you.
Okay.
You're welcome.
That's what you look like when you don't shave.
oh, and I like
It's
the
true.
alien crackhead.
Oh, he did not use, he used herbs sometimes. He was not a crack addict, he was just a fugitive on the moon.
That's just his behavior, I don't know.
Oh.
I was the ghost and the clown.
It was close. I'm glad, you know. I seem to be,
Yes, clown.
you know,
Thank
rushed.
you for not committing suicide through film. The ones who did not.
Thank you very much.
You can buy a copy of movie and music so we can make a better movie next time. Because we made this with no money.
I paid the most every
He
time.
was the executive producer at the Dollar Store.
Hey, I paid for
She's
that.
coming
Skeleton shoots dog. Dog shoots skeleton with bananas. Banana shoots dog. Skeleton with split splines. Spluttering. Fuck! Mike drove.